a tomb that has been abandoned for decades. After being simply transformed by a man, turned directly into a warm and livable home. It's fully furnished. It's luxuriously decorated outside. People want to live in it when they see it. When the dead brother went out for a walk that day, discovered an abandoned tomb, he decided to bring it back to life. So having an idea, he installs the scissors, do an index of weeds on the ground. After cleaning up, the Song of Death is about to dig out a piece of cake along the leaning country. It took him 2 days to finish it. Can see very engineering. Then Death Song took out the axe, ruthlessly dismantling waste. These planks will be reused by him, and the rotten nature is burned. Used as a material to carbonize the columns. Make the most of it. Carbonization is beneficial. Dead Song dug a hole in the ground to install the column. Chiseled a slot on the assist, then installed on the column. Get a sturdy and stable frame. For good follow-up work, he also made a purpose. It is the most suitable for eye makeup. And the zero foundation of the framework. At this moment, choose to fix it with nitrate nails. Keep the earthquake coming here. After fixing the insufficient frame, Dead Song first shovels a groove on the left, the place where the wooden house is, then demolished. Tighten the gravel that was previously laid on the foundation. Just sift through some fine sand, plus the charcoal fire that burned earlier. It's a great adhesive. With rocks and adhesives, Death Song can build a monument here. It didn't take long for Dead Song to be built. The shape can be said to be great. Then Death Song dug 2 ditches in the ground. Wait for the floor to be fixed before the next step begins. He lived the experiment first. 5th efficiency. Perfect. Then Death Song took the waterproof. After making torches out of hemp rope, paste the anti-kettle together with flame. This technique can be said to be very practical. Wait for the Death Song and paste it all. Then I took the discarded wooden boards from the side. Now cut a hole in one. Use a stick as a stand. Get a simple workbench. With the workbench, Dead Songs can better repair planks. The repaired planks were used by him as floors. There were trench diggers. You can fix the plank and shake it in 7 steps. After he finished watching the squirrel chamber, he relaxed. Continue to repair the planks. Go to the rotten place and wait. After dealing with a pile of dead cuts, and we began to frame the roof. As long as you determine the length, it's no problem. Cut tops out of scrap wood. After punching the hole, fix it directly with a rod hammer. This step can be said to be very fast. Then Death Song continues to open the log. Start building the walls of the shelter. These woods don't think of themselves. Can work again? It is also very cooperative with the founding of the country of Death Song. As a fanatic in the field of civil engineering, lovers of former college campus life, the Song of Death is unforgettable from start to finish. After Sanjian said the good things, Dead Songs will play a game. This red-billed jade looks perfect. Beautiful scenery. Let Dead Song relax for a while. Then he kept coming back here. After lighting the fireplace, take out your own fish. Take a picture first, then put it directly in the middle of the fireplace. Golden crispy redfish. Absolutely can cry the kid next door. And the rivers and lakes where Dead Songs pick chickens can also be used to make tea. After eating this delicious meal, filled with energy, he continued to test. The wall frame can also swing to the head of the bed. Just chisel out the card slot and install it on it. Then use the wooden board as a mattress. A single bed holds up. Then he dies and continues to lay the wall upward. These planks are just superficial. He simply fixed a plank. And on the wall to the wooden table. Keep building the wall. The table will be messy with wall pressure. Soon the Death Song is built to the frame position. His axe is very sharp. Keeping it in hardwood can be cut. At this point, the shelter is complete. Osaka takes advantage of the good weather. Brother D also quickly built the roof. Halfway through construction, he chiseled bayonets into. Install the window frame of the previous wooden house, then seal the top. Wait for this brother to build the roof shed on the right. There's a fireplace on the left. He didn't land. There were pebbles under the fireplace. This will also prevent the reservoir from igniting the lime. After completion, Brother Z dug out a treasure card outside. Then go to Golan for some sweltering. Slice it in half according to the isometric sentence, and then it all goes out. Bring it back as a treasure card. And there's a layer of rock inside. Now it looks beautiful when it's done. And then he went on to build the roof. Only a small area of employees remains. He'll be done soon. For example, here he chooses to lunge to solve. Now just insert the sharpeners. The roof is completed. For it doesn't matter, the death song is still in front of the culture after he is fixed. Even if the exterior of this shelter is completed. But at first it could be said to be made naturally, and the roof is naturally waterproof. The gap is still kept with flames. The main room is still there. 3 generations in one room. And then finally, this moment, using the dirt that was all spread on the roof. Increase the fullness of the shelter. When he's done. Bored, he built stairs. It is convenient to go up to the roof to see the scenery by yourself. Is going to start pretending. He first planted some trees on the roof. Then go to the distance to collect the rows. Spread them on the roof. And this is what happens to the roof. The wall in front has not been built yet. For this death song burns some wood. The board scratches the surface and the fire is all spliced together. Then draw a circle on it. Use a saw and hammer to cut off the excess. After fixing it again. A round wall is made. And the door is naturally opened in the middle. At this moment, I will saw off a powder and use it as a window. Then fasten the wall with anklets. Excess gaps in the walls. He found stones and sealed all the gaps firmly. Stones with dispatch go with this wooden house. Very harmonious. Then he put the glass on. The way to fix it, he chose to use cross stripes. Now just install the door. A Hobbit bridge house appears on DVD and so on. Install the door handle now. It looks really nice. And he didn't forget the window on the right. It's still a little monotonous outside, so he uses rocks and weeds. After cutting the treasure below and decorating, I found turf and spread it on the ground. Finally, a path was made out of stones. The sanctuary is complete. Who would have thought? It started as a deserted hillside. After the death song is completed, time has come to went to the river to fetch some water, in his dignified time. And you end up with licorice. He should treat himself after a busy few months. He cut up some meat and vegetables, then put it in the casserole. Just simmer for a few hours. You have a well-balanced diet. He also ate it satisfactorily. Then at sunset, my May falls asleep in the shelter. The weather the next day was great. All the dogs raised by Death Song have already given birth. The little guys are full of energy. The woman survived alone, with her eldest brother in the wild. Kunming has not only created a domineering landscape, the still on the rushing river. Create the perfect suspended loft. Just say whose daughter-in-law is so capable. Wang Kui is 1 in 30 this year. Flowers are chic and comfortable. Cosmopolitan. Suddenly, he found a treasure trove of rheumatism. The mountains and rivers are beautiful. It is very suitable for retirement. So Kuihua said just do it. As a weak woman, he knows how to use this place very well. Relying solely on river water, you can carry a garden weighing hundreds of caddies alone, after collecting enough materials. The broken flowers are tied several times on the bamboo. Then fix the stick on. He quickly built a lift on both sides of the Taiwan Strait. The machine fixes the rope and hesitates. These logs can be easily carried on the rope. and he goes across the river, continued to operate in the same manner. He anchored to logs to the sides of the cliff. It seems Kuihua really wants to build her home on the river. But just to be safe, he first fixed a rope. In this way, the required length can be safely measured. As for the material of the floor, Kuihua chose to use bamboo to build. In this green tropical, the most indispensable thing is this stuff. After cutting the bamboo according to size, lay them neatly on the courtyard house. To prevent them from sneaking around, wild iron is also used at both ends of the bamboo. Silk purpose, although it often survives in the wild for 3 days. But the green flower that loves life does not stop. But with his hard-working hands, actively create your own beautiful life. As for the need for pure status in the middle, Kuihua chose the original for safety. It is not difficult to see from the number of planks he laid the size of this shelter. There should be 1 bedroom and 1 living room. After all the planks are fixed and firm, the satisfied Kuihua can finally take a break. As the sky gets darker, after a simple war, I'm going to deal with it briefly tonight. With the company of Big Brother and howling celestial dog, Kuihua doesn't feel lonely. That's why he never leaves. After a thrilling night, Kuihua quickly packed up her gear. His task today will be very prolific. After collecting more bamboo, he first fills in the vacant positions on both sides. It makes it easier for him to move on it. Then he pours out on either side of the platform. Although Kuihua is also sweating profusely, but the hand movement, there's no sign of it slowing down. And then he used a chainsaw. Corresponding views are also chiseled at both ends of the log. So, you can hold the load, fix it firmly. After completing this task, for the later construction to proceed smoothly, he also processed a large amount of wood with enough materials. Now Kuihua is fully confident in building it. Although he is a generation of women, however, the use of bamboo shoots is very revealing. The entire construction process is also very helpful. Soon the framework of the shelter took shape. But that's not all. Kuihua takes the middle as the grass roots. The trapezoidal frame extends around. This type of roof, ideal for setting up in tropical regions with high rainfall. Wait until the overall framework is completed. He found some variety show business. Its unique shape has the effect of shielding from wind and rain. Kuihua has no opinion about collecting it. After dividing these brown jade leaves in 2, it can be used to build things. As soon as they are laid out enough immediately, don't worry about rain at all. Careful emerald flower, and they trimmed their bangs. Under his careful decoration, the appearance of the hut has been directly upgraded by a level. Clean the ground again. Next is the big piece of the wall. This work is for complex roofs. It's relatively simple. Just arrange the planks neatly. Just fix it with wild iron nails. Just when Kuihua was busy, these two gangs are having a collective relationship, just like someone who doesn't work, and he didn't seal the wall completely. These empty spaces are the windows of Xinjiang. He knows very well that a woman is alone in the external security. Therefore, a strong door is essential. After connecting them with lotus leaves, a practical double door opens. Although this gecko head is tighter, but for Kuihua, the sense of security is very full. The remaining material, the emerald flower, has changed. She made it all into windows. You can see it in his satisfied smile. Kuihua was very satisfied as he cleaned up the garbage inside. And it's built in a wall chamber suspended in midair. Lay the sheets. Then invite the bathing duo into the house. It's such a joyous scene, and it looks so sweet. The next morning, he found the roads in and out of the asylum very difficult. To prevent a mistake, he found a master who outlived me, and they built a fence around it. Although it looks simple, but fortunately, there is sound. Now that the aisles are guardrails, Kuihua simply went to the shelter in one breath. The guardrails on both sides are also arranged together. He announced a rectangular area on the ground, and they fill it with soil, and beat them with sticks. This effectively isolates heat. This is the outdoor explosion of Kuihua. Cooking is very convenient and fast after using up life.